Hi everybody, today we're going to look at the accessibility tools available within Glow. Now we're going to look at a couple of different tools and give you an idea of what they actually do. But first of all, what are accessibility tools? Accessibility in this case refers to content designed so that disabled users can access it. And as part of both Microsoft Office 365 and Google G Suite, there are a whole host of accessibility tools available to us within Glow. Now we're going to look at a couple of these today. There are a lot of them out there. However, we're going to focus on 4 key accessibility tools that we think are going to help you in the classroom. And the first one we're going to look at is Microsoft Office 365 tool, Immersive Reader. As always with these tools, they're available through Glow, so the first thing we have to do is log into our Glow account and then find our Office 365 tools. Easiest way for me to do this is to go to my mail icon and then click on the waffle at the top left hand corner. From here I can access any of the Microsoft tools. Immersive Reader is very well used within Word, so that's what we're going to look at just now. So here we are with our blank template and we can begin to look at Immersive Reader. Immersive Reader is a tool built into Microsoft Word that will read the Word document back to a learner. So this is really good if someone has difficulties with dyslexia or perhaps a visual impairment. The tool itself is contained within the View ribbon in the Word document, and when we click on Immersive Reader, what the tool will start to do is recognise any text on the screen and allow a learner to play it. Once it's being played, Immersive Reader will read the text out loud. At the bottom of the screen we can see that there's a settings icon next to a microphone sign, and if we click on that we get a few more options about what we can do with Immersive Reader. For example, we can change the voice speed or the playback speed at which the text is read back to a learner, and we can change that from a female to a male voice. At the top right of the screen we also have the option to change the text size or even increase the line spacing. For those who have difficulty reading on a white background, we can change the background to a variety of colours, making this again a more accessible reading tool for anyone with an impairment. If we shift to the next tab, we can see that we can actually break words down into their syllables and can even isolate parts of speech such as nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs. The final tool available to us within Immersive Reader is the ability to use line focus, and that's going to isolate individual sentences. On top of this you can see that certain words have been highlighted, and if we click on those words we'll actually get a picture to show us what those words are, as well as the ability to provide a pronunciation of those words. Something else that's really useful is the fact that Microsoft Edge comes already with Immersive Reader built in, meaning that any web page that a learner is reading can be brought into Immersive Reader and is subject to all of the same things, such as changing the text size, changing the background, changing the playback speed, and basically making it a more accessible web browser than previously was before. So there's a whole host of tools here that you can use that are already free and are probably on your computer as we speak. On top of all of this, we also have the dictate and transcribe functions within Microsoft Word Online. Again, it's a pretty standard thing. There's a record button at the bottom of the screen, and when we press that, the computer starts to listen for anything that we try to type. So we'll give this a go. So the dictate tool will try to type anything that you say aloud, bearing in mind that the Scottish accent is quite hard to pick up by a computer, so you will have to enunciate a little bit slower than you normally would. When you're done dictating, just click on the microphone at the bottom of the document to stop. Now the computer here is giving us a very good steer, however it's always good practice just to double check and reread and retype anything that's been misspelled. At the right hand side there's a help area which will give you loads of handy phrases, such as saying things like full stop or period out loud to insert punctuation, and again there's a whole list of stuff there to keep you right. And for anyone whose first language isn't English, you can also dictate into different languages just to make that a little bit easier for people who can speak out loud fluently but maybe can't type fluently. You can find these options down at the bottom next to the microphone, and if you click on the toggle there, you can change the spoken language to any of the languages available in that option. The second tool that we're going to look at is Microsoft Office Lens. Now, this isn't directly provided through Glow, and instead you'll have to either download this as an Android or an Apple app onto your phone. However, this can be used in conjunction with Glow apps such as OneDrive, OneNote, or even your Microsoft Word documents. Here we can see you can take a picture of a whiteboard from any angle, and Office Lens will capture that and trim it so that it perfectly matches your phone and can then be uploaded as an image, and it can be stored in your OneNote or your OneDrive or wherever you like to save that. You can also scan documents. Again, we can see something's not flat on a table. However, Office Lens has now made this a very useful image on our phone. And again, subject to the same things, we can upload this to our OneDrive or OneNote, send it by email, share it with our colleagues. So that ability means that you don't have to rely on regurgitating typing back into a machine. Instead, you're taking something that already exists in the real world and bringing it into Glow using Office Lens. The next section we'll look at some of the Google tools available both within G Suite and on the Chromebooks themselves. The Chromebooks will require a little bit of setup, and Pam's going to talk us through how we would do that by demonstrating this on a Chromebook just now.
So when you're using the Chromebook, you want to make sure that the accessibility tools are turned on. So you go down to the battery bar and you are going to do a right click down there. Then you can see you have accessibility here. If you click on accessibility, next to select to speak, just click on it and dictation to turn on. You can say continue. Just check that that has worked for you. Accessibility, both of these are turned on. If you want to change the voices that you are using, click on the settings box. That takes you over here and it gives you some different options. So you can see, you can select and customize the voices. So you click on the little arrow here and that allows you to scroll down and see that there are different settings here. So at the moment it's set on US English, so I'll just let you hear that.
Hi there, I'm your text-to-speech voice.
Okay, so I've decided that I'm going to change that. So I'm going to go into the built-in text-to-speech extensions. And what I want to do is I want to install the English UK versions. So I'm just clicking install. Okay, you can see that's worked. And then I'll be able to choose the English voice when I go back.
Like Microsoft Office 365, Google also has a lot of tools suited towards dictation or changing text to images. So we're going to look at a couple of those just now. The first one we're going to look at is the image to text function within Google Docs. And again, Pam's going to give us a quick run through of how that works.
One of the really useful features within Google Drive is the ability to convert an image into a Google Doc so you can have the text. So here I have taken a photograph of chapter 12 in this particular book. And what I want to do is I want to open that so that this can then be read to the children. So I click on the three dots, and what I'm asked them to do is to open it within Google Docs. This will then open a new document and it pulls through by scanning the document, it pulls through the image, and then underneath the image, it will place all of the text. So as you can see, the image is just coming in now. Now you can keep the image from the book or you can delete it. And then underneath there, you can see we have the actual text. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this read to the children. So I'm going to select a particular part. And then using the Chromebook, I'm using the search key, which is just above the shift key, and the S button. A box will appear and it will read it aloud.
If you're more used to using Google for your online learning, then G Suite comes built in with a lot of tools the same way that Office 365 does. One of them includes the Dictation tool, which Pam's going to talk us through just now.
One of the really useful features within Google Docs is the ability to use voice voice typing. So all you do is go to Tools, click Voice Typing, a microphone will appear here, and then you click to speak. If prompted, you may have to say allow for your microphone, and then just begin speaking. Full stop. This will then give you a new sentence by saying full stop. I find by speaking a little more slowly, this text-to-speech is more accurate. Full stop. And that's what you need to do. Within Google Slides, you're also able to add your presenter notes via voice. So you do the same thing again, go to Tools, and this time it's Voice Type Speaker Notes. When you're ready, click to speak. So during today's assembly, I want to talk about the behaviour in the playground, full stop. I have been very impressed when I have been out and about at the number of boys and girls who have been sharing well and looking after each other in our shared areas, full stop. Click the mic again to stop, and that's it.
So that brings us to the end of our overview of some of the accessibility tools available within Microsoft Office 365 and Google G Suite. Hopefully that's given you some ideas as to how you can use them in your classroom. Thanks very much for watching.